Hey guys, this is Miss Kelly's first ever video lesson, so let's see how this goes. First of all, I wanted to say that I miss you guys a lot, and I hope that you are all doing well. Hopefully you have some good things going on. And speaking of good things, I would love to have you either message me on Dojo or send me an email and tell me what you're up to, and we can chat on email together as well. So this is our math lesson. This is the first math lesson in your packet or the first math lesson on the online list of assignments for the next 2 weeks. And this is just a review lesson. This is volume, which is where we left off when we were in school. And we were working on volume of rectangular prisms. The first couple of problems on here aren't too bad. It shows volume and it has the volume and then the solution strategy. That's what you have to find. So let's go through one of these problems. I'm going to skip 1A because that one is actually easier, and I'm going to go to 1B for right now. So you look at 1A and you see that the rectangular prisms are the same. So if I know the volume of the bottom prism, I also know the volume of the top prism, and I can put those together. But when you get to 1B and some of the other problems, you see that the prisms are different sizes, right? And we've done this. So we're going to have to find the volume of each one. Now, in order to do that, we have to know the equation for volume. So everybody, what's the equation for volume? I'm going to write it here. Volume equals length times width times height. And hopefully everybody remembers that. Remember, area is just length times width, but with volume we have three-dimensional figures, so we're adding in the height, right? It's not a flat surface anymore. So we have to find the volume of both of these rectangular prisms. It looks like the easiest one to start with is probably the bottom one. What do you guys think? I think so. So I'm going to start there. So I have to find volume of the bottom prism. So I need volume equals, well, what would we say the length is? I would go with a length of 15 times a width of how much? 4 times, sorry, it's messy writing on the computer, times a height of 6. So we have 15 times 4 times 6, okay? You can group these any way you want. Does it matter if I put the 6 first or the 15 first? Nope, doesn't matter at all, right? So with multiplication, I can start anywhere I want. So I'm going to go ahead and group these two because I know my multiples of 4s and 6s. So 4 times 6 equals, think it, right? We should have 24. So now I have 15 times 24. And then I'm going to go ahead and multiply those together. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and stack these. So I'm going to do 24 times 15. That probably was not the best place to do that because it's going to run into some things. So 5 times 4 equals, do some math. I'm going to give you a minute. You guys work that equation. Terrible. There you go. So on the first part, 5 times 4 equals 20. So I carry my plus 2. And then 5 times 2 equals 10 plus 2 more is 12, right? So I have 120. Then I'm going to look at, well, I'm all done with my ones place, so I have to put a what to save its spot? A 0 in the ones place because now I'm working in the tens. And tens, or 110 times 4 is 40, so it goes a 4 in the tens spot. And a 10 times 2 up top gives us 2 in the hundreds place. And then what do we do with all these to put them together? We have to add them. And I'm going to shift this over just because we're going to run into our volume right there. So my fault on that one, setting that up. But 0 plus 0 is 0, 4 plus 2, 6, 2 plus 1, 3. Okay, so right now we have 360 inches, and that's the volume of our bottom prism. And when we're talking inches, how do we label that? We have 3 different measurements we're using. So instead of squared for area, we have teeny tiny 3. We have cubed, right? So 360 inches cubed. Now, am I done? No, we're never done. All right, so now we have to find the volume of the top rectangular prism. And I know the length, and I know the height, right? I have 7, I have 3. So that's cool. I have part of it. So does it matter which way I put it in there? No, really doesn't, right? 7 times 3. But I need a width. Well, Well, the width is this one right here, but it's blank. So take a look at that picture. Where are you going to find that information? Well, it looks like it goes just as far back as our bottom prism, and if we look for a line that's going in that same direction, is the width of 4 down here the same right here? So that's going to be 4, right? Because they're the same. So 7 times 3 times 4, okay? So again, does it matter which way I group them? No, doesn't matter. So 7 times 3 is 21, and 21 times 4. Well, I'm going to stack those again because I definitely like to stack when I multiply. It's so much easier for me to see. You might be able to think about it in groups of 20 and then in groups of 1 and be able to do some mental math there. So solve that problem. And if I look at it and I'm not doing mental math, but I just stack them, I have 4 times 1 is 4 and 4 times 2 is 8. If I did mental math, 24 times I know is 80, and 1 4 times I know is 4, and I would still get 84. So I know that the volume of this prism is 84 inches cubed, and the bottom prism was 360 inches cubed, but I need to know the volume of all of it all together, right? It wants the whole total volume. So what do I have to do? Yes, I have to add them. So I have 360 inches, and I have to add 84 inches. And with that, I'm going to have, you guys keep adding. I'm going to think slowly. Okay, so I'm going to have another 4 here, carry my 1. And wow. Well, that's kind of funny, huh? Make sure we did that. Check your math. Make sure I didn't make a mistake. If I did, you better email me or message me and tell me when I do, okay? Because you're not there to tell me when I goof. So our total volume is 444 inches. What's our label on volume? How many numbers are we multiplying? 3, so inches cubed. Okay, if you have questions about that, make sure you message me. That's an example there. You can do number 1A by yourselves, and then the rest of this page, I'm going to go ahead and move it up, is the same kind of thing. You have to be able to find the volume of each prism, okay? Some of these are going to have parts of a number that you need. So for instance, if I look at C, I have 10 times 3 times 2. That's great right there. So I have the numbers I need for the volume of the bottom prism, but what about the top prism? I have 4 right here as a height,